Hi everyone, I'm Neha Butcher, and today we are going to talk about Amazon backend keywords. What are these backend keywords? How to find the right backend keywords that you can be adding to your product listing, how to add them. This and a lot more is going to be discussed in today's video. So let's get started. Now, I'm going to divide this video into three sections. Section number one is going to cover what are backend keywords and how to find the right keywords that you should be adding to your backend. Now, section number two will actually take this into step two, which is once that you've found which keywords need to be added to your Amazon backend, now you need to know how to add them and where to add them. Section number three is going to be now that you know which keywords to add that we've done in section number one and where to add in section number two, now you know once you have added these keywords, how to test if they are even working for you or helping you achieve the objective that they are there for. And towards the very end, we are going to have a bonus section, but I'm not going to tell you what section that is going to be about. You will have to wait until the very end to find that out. But I can tell you this, the last section will actually prepare you for what is coming up in Amazon's search algorithms and how backend keywords will probably evolve in future. I'm super excited about the last section, so please stay until the very end with me. Now let's get started with section number one, which is what are backend keywords and where to find them. Now, backend keywords, simply put, are very similar to meta keywords that you have for your website. So, if you have a website, you probably have meta keywords which you add to the backend of your website. These keywords they signal to Google that you are relevant for certain search terms. And whenever a customer is searching for those keywords or those search terms, Google should be ranking you high on those keywords. Now, whether or not you will rank high or not, of course, that depends on a lot of other factors. But adding those keywords is a signal to Google that you are also relevant to that traffic. Very similar to that, Amazon's backend keywords are Amazon's own version of meta keywords, which are added to the backend of your product listing. And they signal to Amazon that you are relevant for a certain search term or a certain keyword. So, what happens if you add a search term to your backend? Once, let's say you're selling water bottles, if the customer is searching for water bottle for women, if you have those search terms in your backend, then you enter the whole organic ranking system. And depending on other factors, of course, how many other places is that keyword added, or what is the percentage of times that customer actually clicks and buys your product. Of course, there are other factors. So then the organic ranking is decided, but backend keywords is an important factor in that entire ranking algorithm. All right. Now that you know what are backend keywords, we'll move on to where to find these backend keywords. Now, there are a few different ways of finding backend keywords, but I'm going to discuss the one which is most efficient. So the few different ways are you can find backend keywords by scraping the autocomplete of Amazon's search bar. So for example, if you're selling water bottles, just type water bottle on Amazon search bar, and then Amazon is going to throw up the top 10 keywords which are related to water bottles. You'll see keywords like water bottle for men, water bottle for women, water bottle for kids, water bottle from $1, from $5 to $10, $15, water bottle with insulation. All these keywords will actually help you in building a list for your backend keywords. The second way of doing it is through tools. Of course, there are tools like Helium 10, and there are some free tools like keywordtool.io and some very reasonable ones too, which can actually help you figure out what are the kind of searches that people are doing for your competitors and how are they finding your competitors' product, which you can actually use to populate your own backend keywords. The third way and the most efficient way that I believe is going to your own search term reports on advertising or going to brand analytics and then filtering out keywords which are best performing. Now, notice that I said best performing in only the last section, which is, finding keywords through search term report or brand analytics, because these sources actually tell you the performance of the search term or the keyword that you're looking for. It will tell you what is, for example, search term report will tell you what is the click and conversion rate of each of the keywords that you're picking from. And so you can always pick the best keywords from the lot. Similarly, brand analytics will tell you the click share and the conversion share of those keywords for your specific ASIN. And hence, you can always ensure that you're picking up the best keywords for indexing. Now, if there are keywords which have a very high number of clicks but very low conversion in either your search term report or your brand analytics, you can just safely stay away from those keywords. One of the reasons why I also like the search term report and the brand analytics source for getting backend keywords is because this strategy is now deeply linked with your advertising strategy, right? So wherever you are kind of concentrating your efforts on a specific keyword on both ads, backend, as well as having those keywords on your front end, it kind of amplifies the signals to Amazon that yes, you're important for that keyword. So those are the three, four different ways of finding the right backend keywords for your ASIN. Now that you have found the keywords, let's move on to section number 2, where we will discuss how to add these keywords to your ASIN. Now, first thing that you would have noticed is that I'm not saying that adding the keywords to a brand or your Seller Central account. You have to add a backend keyword or your backend keyword list to every single listing. And so you can have different keywords for different listings. Now, how do you find where to add these keywords? Simply log into your Seller Central account, go to manage your inventory, and select the ASIN for which you want to add your backend keywords. Under product details, you can go and add all the keywords that you have researched in the in the product details section. Now, a few things that you will need to take care of is that it's not that you have unlimited space to add all these keywords. There's a specific character limit that you can do, that you can add as keywords. And the best way of ensuring that you're keeping your keywords within that character limit is to ensure that you're only and only adding the most important keywords onto the keyword list. Now, these could be keywords like adding your a different language. For example, Spanish is very common where people could be looking for keywords in a different language, or spelling mistakes, or most importantly, actually, the problem statement that you are trying to solve with your product. So it could be insulation, it could be price point. All of those keywords need to be there in your backend so that you are able to give the signal to Amazon that you're not just a water bottle, you're an insulated water bottle. Right? So that kind of helps you in improving the quality of your backend keywords and sets you apart. Now, that was section number 2. Now that you know how to add your backend keywords, let's move on to the third section, which is now that you've added your backend keywords, how do you even know whether they are working or not working? Now, a very simple way of checking whether a backend, if you are being indexed for a backend keyword or not, is to simply go to Amazon and search that keyword. So let's say insulated water bottle and your product ASIN number, the B0 ASIN number, followed by the keyword that you are looking to check or test out, which is insulated water bottle, together in the search bar. So, for example, I would just go to Amazon.com and I will search for my B0 ASIN space insulated water bottle. If my ASIN appears for that keyword, then I'm indexed for that keyword. Otherwise, I'm not. And if I'm not indexed for that keyword, now what I need to start doing is, adding those keywords in other places, like my title, A plus content in my images, so on and so forth, and also adding that and putting in a lot of money on that keyword on my advertising, because When you're doing all of that, you're actually really amplifying the signals that you're giving to Amazon that this keyword is important to you. Now that I've told you all about your Amazon backend keywords, I want to take a couple of minutes to also discuss the elephant in the room. Amazon has just launched Rufus. Rufus is Amazon's conversational AI, or your very next shopping assistant in the near future. Now, Rufus understands not just keywords, which was the usual way that Amazon functioned through keywords. Rufus understands full blown sentences written in pure English. Now, you can now go to Amazon and say, show me 10 best 10 running shoes under $60, right? So Amazon will go and check for 10 different running shoes under that cost that you have mentioned, and it will also ask you, would you like me to show you the best 10 running shoes by price or by quality or by reviews or by five other parameters, right? So it's going to become very easy for a customer to search for or look for exactly the kind of product that they want rather than just searching and relying on Amazon's uh, standard ranking algorithm. Now, when this happens, the type of backend keywords that you will probably be required to use or to add in future will move from very simplistic, add different languages or add different spelling mistakes to a more problem solution kind of keywords. So now you will probably have to add keywords like insulated, hot water, cold water, temperature control, water bottle. Now, Amazon will probably also evolve the backend keyword tool that they have given you in Seller Central, but the details of that are not really discussed anywhere yet. So it remains to be seen how Amazon is going to evolve that tool, but that change is coming for sure because Rufus is going to need more details from you. Of course, it's going to be taking details from your title, your content, bullet points, your A plus content, your images, and all the other content that you have on ads, on posts, Amazon posts, so on and so forth. But backend keywords is still going to be a very, very important source of truth for Amazon to find out your, signals for, your specific case. Very quickly, let me summarize. One, backend keywords are like meta keywords for your Amazon listing. So these are keywords which are added in the backend, which tell Amazon which keywords to index you for. To find the best keywords for your backend keywords, you should be looking at your Amazon search term report or brand analytics. You can also look for it on the Amazon's auto search bar, autocomplete search bar, or you can look for it on certain free tools like keywordtool.io or just Helium 10. Number two, we discussed how to add keywords to your Seller Central account and exactly where to go. Of course, all of those details are going to be mentioned in the blog post below. And point number three was once you have added the keywords into your backend list, how to ensure and figure out whether you are indexing for that keyword or not. Lastly, we discussed about Rufus and how in future your backend keywords is not just going to be a simplistic language change or a adding different spelling mistakes, but also being very, very deep ingrained into the problem that you're solving with your product and be more and more long tail in terms of the features or the functionalities that you bring with your product. I hope that you enjoyed this video. And for any questions that you would have regarding advertising or backend keywords as such, please feel free to reach out to us at ask@atom11.co. Until then, keep them clicking and happy advertising.